Hello and welcome to today's edition of UC Sports. I'm Alexis Gwynn alongside Chinedu Amonu, and we have an exciting show in store for you today.
That's right, folks. We have a jam-packed show for you today. We'll get you the latest on the Huskies in the WNBA draft and even a special guest on the show today, UConn legend Gabby Williams, as she prepares for the big day. A lot of UConn teams were in action over the weekend, so we'll be sure to get you up to date. Let's get to it.
UConn's softball team had their game on Tuesday against Bryant postponed because of the weather and will be making it up on Tuesday, April the 24th at 3. They will be able to play the following series on April 7th with the UConn splitting a doubleheader with UCF. They dropped the first game 8-3 but dominated the second 11-3 with Karen's Cole going 4 for 4 at the plate and Katie Kosher striking at 11 batter. They won the series the next day with a 5-1 win over UCF and headed up to BC for a one-game matchup this Wednesday.
The softball team wasn't the only team whose schedule got messed up because of the weather, as baseball had 2 straight games canceled and 1 postponed due to April snow showers. The team was able to get their series against UCF in, though, losing 10-8 in 11 innings in the first game, then in the 25-degree weather, winning 6-2 and 7-6 to take the series. They head to Bryant this Wednesday for a 3 o'clock one-game matchup.
The UConn men's basketball team rounded out their on-court and recruiting staff with the hirings of Kenya Hunter and Kimana Young. Hunter comes to UConn after spending the last 5 years at University of Nebraska. Hunter has a long resume with stings of Xavier, Georgetown, and DeQuincy. Hunter says he's embracing the challenges of bringing UConn back to its glory days. Obviously, UConn has a great tradition of winning 4 national championships in 1 just 4 years. It's recent, not outdated. You look in the practice faculty and at the UConn wall. It's a place where a lot of NBA guys have come through and paved the way. I embrace the challenge of helping Coach Hurley get UConn basketball back to where the people there want it and where it has been, Hunter said. Last week, UConn also added Kimana Young from the University of Minnesota. Kimani, who has spent much of his coaching career in the New York metropolitan area. He was on the staff at Florida International when Patani became the coach in 2012. Kamani can be a valuable asset when it comes to recruiting players from the New York arena. UConn has a history of recruiting players from the New York, including Kimball Walker, Christian Vitale, and Sydney Wilson.
The UConn women's men's and track team took their talents to South Beach as they competed in the Miami Hurricane Alumni Invitational. Senior captain Trent Barham won the 400-meter dash with a time of 47.5 seconds. Barham also followed up this performance, anchoring the 4x4 to victory with a time of 3:14. Redshirt senior Craig Hunter vaulted his way into victory with a season-best leap of 5.20 meters. In the field, the Huskies dominated javelin with 3 top 5 finishes. Senior captain Seth Zudema led the way, placing first with a throw of 67.68 meters.
On the women's side, junior Amaris Bolton had a personal best throw of 57.90 meters in the hammer throw, putting her in second place. On the track side, 4x4 ran the season's best time of 3:41. Junior Kelly Banks came 7th overall in the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 1:02.92. Kat Surin and Christina Charrington both placed in the 400-meter dash, with Kat placing third with a time of 54:13 and Christina coming in 8th place with 56:74. The Huskies return to action next Saturday, April the 14th, as they host their only home meet of the season.
The UConn football team will hold their annual spring game this Saturday at the Rent. The event is set to take place at 12 p.m. One of the biggest storylines heading into the game is the quarterback situation for the Huskies. The Huskies are losing starting quarterback Brian Shares to graduation, and his replacement is to be named. Junior David Pindell has the upper hand right now based off his experience last season. Look for all eyes to be on Pindell this Saturday to see if he can prove himself to be the quarterback of the future after a shaky 2017 campaign. UConn will have 3 players at the WNBA draft that will take place on Thursday at the Nike headquarters in New York. Seniors Gabby Williams, Kia Nurse, and junior Azoria Stevens, who are all projected to go in the first round of the draft. We all know that our 6'6" junior forward, Azoria Stevens, has decided to leave with a year left of eligibility. Stevens, AAC newcomer and 6th player of the year, provided a tremendous spark off the bench all year long for the Huskies, averaging 14.7 points and 7.4 rebounds. Stevens was the key to the Huskies' conference tournament victory, as she was awarded the most outstanding player due to her sensational performance. Stevens will look to provide WNBA teams with rebounding and inside scoring. Mock drafts on the WNBA website have her landing at either number 2 to Indiana or number 4 to Chicago.
UConn is also losing Kia Nurse, who's an all-around player. She sits among the greatest in the game, started in 3-pointers made. Nurse, the recipient of the WBCA Defense Player of the Year award, will look to provide WNBA with the lockdown defense as well as consistent outside shots. She is projected to land at number 8 in Indiana, where she could potentially team up with Ezra or stay in Connecticut at number 9.
Finally, UConn will be losing Gabby Williams, a 5'11" player who can do things that no other player can do. Williams' athleticism helps her in her defense and her offense, and ESPN has even spoken to the fact that she gets her own airspace for rebounding due to how high she could jump. Williams has also won Defensive Player of the Year and was inducted into the Huskies of Honor at the end of this season. She is projected to be taken by Dallas at number 6 or Washington at number 7. Of course, though, those are all just projections, and anything can happen on the draft night. We've got Gabby in the studio right now, and we'll be talking to her about this process and also about her time at UConn after a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. We are now joined in studio by one of the Huskies who will be at the draft on Thursday. Gabby, thank you for coming up.
Thanks for having me.
You spent 4 years here at the University of Connecticut. You won 2 national championships. So now that you have time to reflect, what has your time to UConn meant to you?
Man, I mean, it's just been life-changing being here. I mean, I came all the way from Nevada, new place, new culture, you know, a little bit of a shock. But I mean, just since being here, I feel like I've had a 1 in a million opportunity and experience, and now I feel really prepared for what's happening in the future.
That's great. So you got to be coached by the GOAT, Gino Auriemma. So it's my fault, Gino, if you're watching this. But, so how has it been, you know, getting that experience and just that leadership?
You know, I mean, it's not easy, but after, you know, being under him for 4 years and playing under him, I think there's nothing that I'm not going to be ready for, you know, after playing for him. And I think I don't think any other coach would develop me the way that he's developed me, and definitely really special thing to play for him.
That's great. That's great. So if you had to choose one, what would be your favorite memory in a UConn uniform?
I mean, I don't know, because there's memories where, like obviously the national championship my sophomore year was huge, and you know, spending that with Stewie, Morgan, and Mariah was just incredible to be a part of that history. But you know, we also have the funny times, like the funny moments, you know, like when I almost lost my tooth or, you know, like it's just, I would say though probably that national championship or the 100th win the game last year was pretty cool against South Carolina.
That's good. That's good. So looking forward to Thursday. You know, the big day, draft day. So what are your thoughts going into it? How do you feel?
I'm nervous. I'm nervous, just anxious because I mean, there's no telling where I could be or, you know, that's my whole future right there. And yeah, but I'm excited, and I know wherever I go, I'm going to be ready for it. And wherever I go is where I'm supposed to be.
That's good. So how has the pre-draft process? How's that been for you?
It's been wild. Yeah, it's been wild. I mean, from the day after the Final Four game, it's just been so hectic. I haven't even been able to, you know, sleep or catch my breath, you know. So, yeah, it's just been hectic, but I kind of needed the distraction, especially after, you know, what happened.
Yeah. So playing at UConn, how has that helped you as you make this transition into a professional athlete?
I just think that I've learned how to work harder than anybody else being here, and it's not easy. And I think our coaches make it so hard that everything else almost seems easy. So I think just, you know, and kind of the adversity that we face, the pressure that we face, I feel like there's nowhere else that really has that. So I feel prepared.
That's good. So you and your classmate Kia have been together for this past 4 years. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, it came to an end last week. So just moving forward, how has that journey been with her at your side? And what are your thoughts going into the draft with her also declaring for the draft? So what's your thoughts on possibly playing with her in the future?
Oh, wow. I haven't even thought about playing with her. I mean, that would be crazy if we did. But, I mean, just looking back from where we started off freshman year, I mean, I really struggled my freshman year, and she helped me through it. I mean, there were times where we would be in Hale and drawing plays on our mirror and everything. And, I mean, yeah, hanging out with you and Josh and all of our friends, like my first friends on campus. And, I mean, it's just watching how much we've matured and grown has been crazy. And, I mean, we came in with 5 people in our class and left just us 2, and I think we've just gotten close.
That's great. So Z really shook things up by declaring with the draft with 1 year left of eligibility. So how do you think she's going to do in the league?
I mean, I see a bright future for Z, and I think she just has so much potential, and she's always just had a lot of potential. And she made a lot of steps this year and last year, you know, being at this program. So, you know, I hope that she takes what she learns here and just continues to build on that because, you know, physically she definitely has the tools to be something great.
For sure. So draft day is less than 72 hours away.
Wow.
So what will you look to bring to any team that drafts you?
I think I can be a huge defensive presence anywhere I go. And, you know, I just hope I can be a playmaker like I was here. I don't necessarily need the ball. I don't need to shoot, you know, 20 shots a game in order to be productive. So I hope wherever I go, I just maximize my minutes and my, you know, production with however many minutes I get. So just want to be useful.
That's good. Well, on behalf of UCTV, we want to thank you for coming in today, and we just want to say you had an amazing career as a UConn Husky, and we wish you the best in your professional career.
Thanks, Jan.
No problem. When we come back, we will go to get you updated on Huskies in the pros. Kimba Walker continues to be atop the Huskies in the pros news, always for good reason. This week, Kimba was named to the 2018-2020 USA Basketball Men's National Team. He is one of the 35 players who will attend the mini camp, which is set to take place in Las Vegas in July. And he will ultimately compete for one of the 12 spots for the 2019 USA World Cup team and also 2020 Olympics, should the U.S. qualify.
And on pitch, Kyle Laren, former UConn men's soccer standout, scored in the debate for Turkish club Besiktas. Lauren, who was the former #1 MLS Super Draft pick, joined the club after a transfer saga with Orlando City, South Carolina, his former club. His goal put the Black Eagle up 4-1 in an overall 5-1 win in the Turkish League.
Finally, Shabazz Napier and the Portland Trailblazers have clinched a spot in the 2018 NBA playoffs. They are likely to start the postseason in April and control their own destiny, as a win over the Nuggets or Jazz will lock them up in the first round for home court advantage, and 2 wins will lock them in as the Northwest Division champs and the #3 seed in the West. Napier has been starting in the place of injured guard Damian Lillard, but will see action off the bench when Dame returns this Saturday against the Spurs. Well, Alexis, what a show. Thank you for co-hosting with me, and thank you again to Gabby for coming on. That will do it for tonight's edition of UC Sports. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at UCTV Sports for all the UConn athletic news you need, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the UCTV Channel 14 to watch our content as soon as it goes live. For Chinedu, Amonu, and the crew,
I'm Alexis Gwynn. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you the same time and place next week. Good night.